What do you think they're gonna do, chat? You think they're gonna make an era server for SOD? Or take away our runes and just make it a normal era character? I feel like it's just gonna turn into a normal era character. Well, let's take a look at this video, chat. The future of Season of Discovery looks amazing. Let's see it, boys. I've been having a blast so far.
Raid, a revamped Stranglethorn Vale for PvP, the Scarlet Monastery being seen as raiding content, and the prospect of a whole new zone, the Karazhan Crypts, finally being used in the World of Warcraft universe.
Wow.
These are just a few of the rumors surrounding the mysterious future phases for Season of Discovery.
I don't know what they're gonna do with SM. Is it gonna be 60 or 40? I was expecting 2 raids, but I think we're just getting Gnomeregan, right?
So far, the phase we've had with the level 25 cap has honestly been one of the best times in WoW I've had in a long time. There's new content, updated classes,
I've been absolutely loving it.
quests to find, and just a fresh perspective on the game. It's amazing how much has been done by just restricting our level cap a bit. And the best thing is, we get to do this staggered level cap thing 2 more times in the future
40,
as
50,
well.
60.
As we already know, the second phase of Season of Discovery will raise the level cap to 40, Phase 3 50, Phase 4 60, and beyond that is expected to be something akin to our usual phase releases for the remaining
Chad, do you think they'll put in the effort to make the raids at level 60 a bit more fun and interactive, or is it going to be too mechanic? Boss fights again.
All the way from Molten Core to Nax Rammus. But that is very far off in the future at the moment, so we'll see what they do. Classic WoW also just got a roadmap for the future of its content, spanning from this winter all the way to next autumn, so we can definitely
too
make
mechanic
use of
for life.
when making estimates.
No, it doesn't make sense because BFD. Some of the mechanics in BFD, it feels like there's more to do than MC bosses.
As for when future phases will be. But today we are going to be doing a little bit of speculating. When will the next phase be? How long will phases last? What will the new content be? And ultimately, what happens to our characters at the end of the season?
I'm sad. I don't even want to think about it. When I saw the roadmap and it says end of Season Discovery, it's like, damn. Us farming everything, getting exalted, that's all gonna crumble down. Maybe they make it where we can go to Era server with the character, but we lose our Season of Discovery ability. That might be the case, but that kind of sucks.
Factor 75. It's coming up to gift giving season very soon.
Wow.
And not long after that, a brand new year. And especially after the end of a year, it's a good time to start setting new habits. Above all, what you're eating. And though eating the right things can be hard, Factor 75 offers convenience to make it easy.
What's Christmas like in Korea?
75 are delicious dietitian
I live in America, brother.
Straight to your doorstep. These meals are calorie counted, and the weekly menu features over 30 restaurant
I think it's the same.
meals, including keto, calorie smart,
it's the same as America,
and more. So no matter the dietary restriction, there's something for everyone. But the biggest benefit is that you won't be spending ages in your kitchen.
Yeah, I lived in America for like 20 years.
As each of Factor 75's meals are ready in about 2 minutes. It's microwave food, but just not in a way that you've seen it before.
What's up?
So if you're still thinking of gift ideas but want something that will last into the new year, Factor 75 could very
I got sponsored by Factor too. They're pretty good.
Use my link or go to factor75.com and use code POGWILLYDECK50 for 50% off your first box. You can find the link in the description down below or by scanning the QR code on screen with your phone. Many thanks to Factor 75 for the sponsor today. Let's get back to WoW. First up then, let's think about Phase 2. So at the moment the level cap is 25 and we're just over 3 weeks into the season and the game is feeling super fresh. This is the phase where either as a casual player you can get to push to level cap and see how endgame goes, or as a more hardcore player you start to set up your alt army with everything you want to play as later phases are released. However, the level cap being 25 is a big decider.
Chat, how many alt is max for you? I think 3 is max for me. Maybe 4. When I was younger in my high school, I used to have every single character max level. I remember doing arena cap. You needed to play 10 times each on all your character. And World of the Draenor, dude, I had every character max. And I would do arena on all of them, man. It was insane. 3 to 4? Okay. Yeah, I think so too. 3 to 4 is like a good number. 2 is a good number too. At higher level, probably. Yeah, at higher level, you'll probably not have as much. Especially due to like all the reputation grind and whatnot.
how long I think this phase will last in total, as capping out a character, doing some Ashen Veil, doing some BFD and so on doesn't take all that long. I've always said I think this first phase will be somewhere in the region of 6 to 8 weeks in total, and if we were to add about 4 weeks on to where we are at the moment, I'd suggest a mid to late January release for Season of Discovery's second phase, so we're talking around the 18th to the 25th of January, and this does fit in with the timeline on the roadmap too. But what is for the content in Phase 2? We already have had confirmation that Blizzard are planning on a Gnomeregan raid being the next major raid for the Season of Discovery. Gnomeregan itself has definitely seen some newfound infamy thanks to the hardcore mode. It only takes that one guy straying a bit and pulling some trash packs for this place to get super out of control. Can't wait to see that one guy pull all the Dark Iron agents before the last boss in a raid and proceed to wipe you. Gnomeregan may also present some rather unexpected changes in the damage dealing meta for Season of Discovery. See, the raid as a whole has a lot of mechanical and elemental enemies
that guy was going
schizo. They tend to be immune to a lot of stuff, ranging from bleeds, poisons, frost damage, nature damage, and certain CC effects. I hope it's not super comp dependent in terms of wanting to bring classes which can actually hit stuff. I know in vanilla that's how it is, but it's also seasonal. Maybe
I think they should make it where the robots could get poisons and bleeds, because I think warriors and rogues will be upset if not. I think they should. Who cares? Let them like spill oil. The bleed does oil damage or something.
Don't have to stick 100%.
And chat, welcome to the chat if you're tuning in now. Hi, hi.
In terms of loot from Gnomeregan, there's already been some very exciting updates which have been found on Wowhead, including some of the most iconic items. The manual crowd pummeler appears to have been upgraded to the automatic crowd pummeler. Instead of it having 3 charges, it's now on use with a 3-minute cooldown. However, only usable by Paladin, Shaman, and Druid. Of course, this has been Bis forever for
Damn, you don't have to farm a million of those.
Weapon, but instead from their attack power and auto attacks in form. The real intriguing bit to me, however, though, is that we very well may see a 2-handed enhancement rune next phase, and you'll be able to pop this almost self-bloodlust type effect and blast with this weapon for 30 seconds. It's even got great offensive stats. The weapon speed is a bit of a letdown in terms of seeing big crits, but it should still be good. I'm wondering how they will update drop tables for bosses as well though, because loads of the BFD bosses straight up had a ton of new items instead of old items being upgraded. The one item I'd love to see getting an epic upgrade would be the electromagnetic Gigaflex reactivator, the helmet from the last boss that shoots out an AoE which gives you a mini lightning shield afterwards. This item has so much potential. Maybe even tanks would want it if the AoE was good enough. Another thought about Noma is that it's in Dunmora, so the Alliance will not auto-flag for PvP on PvP servers, but Horde will. It's the same experience as what Alliance get when they go to...
I feel like a lot of people don't know. You can just teleport in there as Horde. It's not big of a problem. Nobody should be walking here. Hopefully Willie knows too, right?
Scarlet Monastery. Is this something that should be changed, do you think, in Season of Discovery in any way? Of course, non-flagging exists in Starter Zone, so you don't get level cap degenerates going to gank.
I walked it. There's no... Is there any Horde player that actually just walk here? You can literally do a quest and teleport from Booty Bay to Gnomeregan instantly. I don't know why people make it a big fuss about it. Because when I ranked 14, I literally had that, so I could just go to Iron Forge and camp people. Well, not camp, but farm honor while in queue, right? It's an easy like teleport way.
Low-level zone is
it's better than having to walk to SM. Walking to SM sucks.
End game, maybe that changes things. Maybe the actual zone outside of the raid should cause auto flagging. Yeah, but outside that, you're good. It's not.
I had to think. Okay. Rank 14 chat. You needed to kill people 4 times each because you get 100% honor, 75% honor, 50% honor, 25%, and after you get nothing. So if it was a desperate time and we needed to rank up and there was nothing to kill, you had to kill them at least 4 times. Okay. That was the ranking. Like you have to. If we don't, we'll de-rank, man.
We're going to have to run all the way to Noma either through Dunmora. There's a quest that sends you to Booty Bay that teleports you straight there. Unlike Alliance, who actually have to run for about 15 minutes from South Shore or through Western Playglass.
No, it's not talking. I don't do that anymore, chat. That was back in rank 14 days. We had to kill.
Bay, that brings up our next point: the PvP zone.
Or you lose your 3 months prog.
So Blizzard have mentioned in interviews that STV is likely to be the place where our next set of open world conflicts will be taking place. I have to say though, on the roadmap, it doesn't specifically say STV
What
yet.
do you guys think the next one is gonna be? People are saying STV. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be Arathi Highland. Because AB is coming out, Arathi Basin, and AB rewards are sold in Arathi Highland. I feel like Arathi Highland should be the PvP area. They can make it STV, but I feel like it's the other way around, man. Comics, Merry Christmas, man. Hello, hello. Because Warsong is in Ashenvale and northern part of Barrens. So the PvP zone is in Ashenvale, right? I think it'll be in Arathi High.
It just says new PvP event, so the options are still open. But STV itself is without a doubt the most iconic open world PvP
What about they just make a new battleground themed on STV hold?
zone in World of Warcraft's history. It fits in well with a level cap of 40, and players will be spending a ton of time questing there anyways to hit the new level cap. It has the notorious Gorobashi free-for-all arena, the weekly fishing event, and tons more. To me,
Dude, what if they made this, maybe not. I was just thinking in my head, what if they made it a queue, and you queue in, it's like 5 people enters, and only 1 can win the chest. So it's not always like whoever has 40 people just gets the chest free, right? Or like a bigger group. If it was like an FFA thing where you queue and there's like 10 people in here spawn, that'd be kind of sick.
Why wouldn't you go for STV for the PvP zone? There is an alternative, however, which kind of does make sense too, and that's
it would be more fair and
Arathi
fun,
Highlands.
I think.
This zone also fits well with a level cap of 40, has a decent number of quests in there, albeit most are centered around the elite zone of Strong
Damn, dude, the PvP's here, that'd be sick. Like, you defend the castle.
Guard, and biggest of all, it fits in thematically with the battleground that should be expected to open next phase, Arathi Basin. And whilst Battle for Ashenvale has had many a problem, if you can say one thing, it's a great way to gain rep and the rewards that are tied to the battleground. And thematically, us doing battle in Ashenvale, the place where Warsong Gulch takes place, totally makes sense that our actions within the zone would award reputation. If we're off PvPing an STV, how does that make sense for us gaining reputation with Arathi Basin? Well, it doesn't really. And I don't know if you've ever tried to do Arathi Basin rep through the battleground, by the way, but oh boy, is it slow. Then again, it's a seasonal server. It's fine
It's
to
a
do
beautiful
stuff faster
tabard.
or just differently from normal. Maybe some NPCs can be put into STV from your Arathi Basin rep, and they can say this is a vital zone of conflict to control. This helps your faction in some way, and therefore you get rep. Maybe. But anyways, this is what I expect for Phase 2. So the Gnomeregan, STV PvP, new runes, new gear, and so on. Lots to look forward to.
STV PvP. Why does everyone think it's STV PvP? Is Blizzard like spilling the bean? Do they have intel chat? Because in my head, Arathi Highland is the play, right?
Duration-wise, 25 to 40 is a fair
Blizzard
bit of
at some
leveling.
point?
A lot
Okay,
more
if
time
they
will
said
go
it,
into
I
that
guess
than 1
so.
to 25. So I'd say an absolute minimum of 8 weeks on this phase with a cap of 12, so call it 10 or so. The level 40 bracket is going to be so much fun to play as well. Getting our final talent points with the runes is really going to push our characters' power levels. So I'm thinking this phase will last around somewhere up to late March to early April. And this fits in with Blizzard's roadmap too. And here is where we start to go a bit into the dark. In Phase 3 of Season of Discovery, the level cap will be raised from 40 to 50, and we will start to push on towards more endgame content. Or traditional endgame content, I should say.
Wait, when is level 50 cap?
By the Alterac Valley reputations and their various rep rewards into Phase 3 as well, or whether they're going to leave them out. See, the in favor part of that comes from the fact that each phase so far should have had a new battleground introduced.
Yeah, I know it's spring, but do we know specific date?
The against part is mainly just to do with, well, how AV has worked in the past. Usually you have to be level 51 plus to join Alterac Valley, and a bunch of the rep rewards, including the mount, all need level 60 to use. And if you remember at BlizzCon, they also teased several images for this season, which back then were Noma, which we know is in Phase 2, as well as the Scarlet Monastery and Karazhan Crypts. Would Scarlet Monastery make for the main raid at this level 50 bracket? I mean, it kind of is near the Alterac Mountains to the point where you could tie the reputation into some open world events, but where would the PvP zone itself go? The Alterac Mountains, perhaps? There really isn't a ton to do there, unlike Ashenvale or especially STV. I'm kind of having trouble making sense for what we know about Phase 3 at the moment, and it does feel like an area of this season that I am the most uncertain about. There is another way that this could go though, and that's for this phase to have Blackrock Depths as the main raid, and Blackrock Mountain, Burning Steppes, and Searing Gorge as the combined PvP zones. I don't know about you, but I really want to see BRD as a raid. It's practically already big enough to be a raid.
Yeah, BRD is really big.
Much cool stuff in there. And BRD fits in okay with a level cap of 52. Some of the bosses in there definitely are higher levels for that, but the alternative would be to have this raid at 60. And level 60 isn't short on content or raids already. I think it would be great to have BRD as its own full phase and season of discovery. It's a dungeon with a legacy that absolutely deserves time to shine and to be its real own piece of endgame content. As for the open world PvP, battle for Blackrock Mountain. Maybe some kind of King of the Hill vibe to it. We need to hold certain areas down. The fun in BRM PvP was always in outmaneuvering your opponents or sending people on stealth missions to scout and pick off targets. There is so much potential in this mountain,
I don't mind it, but I could see people getting toxic about it. Because there's already so much toxicity in Darkmoon Fair right now. Say hello to stream. Yeah, Darkmoon Fair. I'm not a big fan of like camping Darkmoon Fair, but Horde was defending a little bit, and now Alliance is like defending it back and forth. Like, if people are having raids for people to not enter raids, it might suck for them, but it's like that all the time, I guess.
In season of discovery, the duration of this phase, again factoring in leveling.
I'm trying to think for the little people, man. For me, it's no problem. I'm a streamer. If I need backup, I'm gonna call you guys, blast them off. But my IRL friends or you guys that don't have a lot of friends, man, that sounds toxic. Or it doesn't have to be toxic. You just don't have a lot of members in the game, right? And you're just getting camped over and over and over and over again trying to get to that dungeon. Dude, that could be miserable.
Content available. A good 10
you really want
this?
to, sorry, man.
Okay. Maybe even on the short side.
Savix, aren't you little peekaboo said you're 4'8"? Dude, peekaboo is like 2'1" if I'm 4'8". Okay, I'm 6'2".
This would bring us to around mid-June, which if we look at the roadmap is a little bit early perhaps. I could be overly reading into it, but the 60 cap feels as though it's more angled towards July at the moment, but who knows? Things can always change. Next we have phase 4 and the final push from levels 50 to 60, and the point where we start to do Classic's traditional endgame. Here's a thought, do you reckon we'll return to 40-man raids after having done 10, maybe 20-player raids throughout the whole season so far? Smaller raid sizes and shorter lockouts are generally more casual friendly. They allow more chances for people on new roles to find a group, and well, I think I can summarize how I feel about 40-man raids in one single picture. So yeah, the prospect of getting 40 players together, very cool once we're in the raid, not so cool on your guild's leadership. I'd be down to try sticking to smaller size raids.
Is there still people that like 40-man raid? I want 20-man or 15-man. 40-man, too many. They don't even do any mechanic. You like split it off. That's why Lost Ark and FF is like 8 members, so everyone has to do a mechanic or solve a puzzle. I feel like that's way more fun and entertaining. 10-man, I wouldn't mind 10-man as well. 20-man or 10-man or 15-man. 40's too many. And then you get one piece of fucking loot, and you gotta roll it off with 40 people. Holy moly! And then the officer's like, alright, officers, drop down in the car. Okay, we're back. This weapon's gonna go to my girlfriend, of course. Oh, fuck that.
So again, it's seasonal. We can just try stuff and see how it feels.
Yeah, 20 or 10 or 15.
PvP, we would have Alterac Valley making a return. Open world PvP wise, there is already stuff in the game, to be honest. It's just kinda bad, but the potential is there if
Officers
these events
drop
are
down.
iterated upon. You've got the Eastern Plagueland Towers, where when a faction
I had
holds
that
them,
in Tips Out
people in the
Skilled,
zone
man.
and in these strat dungeons gain various bonuses, and then there is
That's why I do my own guild now, chat.
where you pick up an item and run it to a guy. The first faction to
It didn't
fill the
feel
scoreboard
fair.
gains bonus reputation in the zone and raids for a while. So yeah, not the most exciting stuff at the moment, but maybe we can get some reputations affected by these events, get some more rewards in there, and just make it a bit more worth players' time. We are all, of course, looking forwards to the new Kara Crypts raid. As for when it releases, though, that is a tough one. And if the phase before level 60 was sent
For some reason, I'm not even looking forward to anything at 60. I'm looking forward to the 40 content.
and Blackrock Mountain,
That's what I'm excited
the
about.
following one leading us
My
into
horses are
Molten
not
Core
that,
kind of
you know,
does
giddy
make
up yet.
sense. And after that we have BWL, again that's in the mountain.
Yeah, I don't even
And
care
then
about 60 content
AQ40,
right now.
which
I'm
is
more
really its
interested in the
own
40
thing, way
content.
out of the
We're
way.
getting way too
We do
ahead
have
of
a link
ourselves
between
here.
Karazhan and Naxxramas though, through Medivh and the legendary staff at Yesh. It's not a huge amount to go off, and it would of course mean quite the wait between level 60 and Naxxramas, but it's something. Also, there's no way Phase 4 would be the final phase either. There are still so many raids to go through in Classic. If we take a look at Classic's timeline from its re-release in 2019, we can see we've got quite a bit of
Kami
content
sent me a funny
to do.
picture, chat.
And
Do you
we
want to
will
see
also
it?
already have some stuff that used to come in future phases already. I think the number of phases can be squished quite heavily here. We will have all the battlegrounds out, I imagine. The honor system's already there. Diamor's been out on every release Blizzard has done post 2019. So I'm pretty sure they're going to do it again, if not before level 60, then at that point. World bosses don't really warrant their own phase, nor does Zul'Gurub in my opinion. We could have those in mini 0.5 phases in Season of Discovery, which really leaves us with just the big new raid tiers dictating phase releases. So we would start with Oni and Molten Core in Phase 4, and then with Nax on Phase 7. Phase 4 would also be when players are doing that level 50 to 60 push at the start. And that is one
Dude, that
big
50 to 60 takes so long. I've done so many hardcore characters now. It felt so much longer than when I normally played. Maybe because it's hardcore and you're playing safer.
old grind in vanilla. You know, XP wise, it's
50
either
to
being
60
level
takes fucking
46 or
forever,
47 is
man.
halfway to 60. So players are going to need some time to cap out. This phase seems to be a pretty lengthy one too, lasting from what looks like July all the way into late autumn, which is going to be 3 months or
I
so.
hate
So
40
the
to
next phase
50.
will be late September, early October. Blackbing Lair will be the next raid to come out. And
True,
alongside
there
that, at
are
some point
there's
in time,
parts
we
where you
need
have to
fit
just
in
grind
various world
mobs because you
bosses,
run out of
so the
quests,
non-green
right?
dragons and the green dragons, as well as ZG. I think some
I
of
think it's
those
that
can come
45 to
before
47
BWL,
part.
some a little bit after. Give it about 8 to 10 weeks for Phase 5 and BWL, which means Phase 6 and NQ40 would arrive in late November to early December. I kind of doubt they're going to do the war effort on a seasonal server, to be honest. They had it auto-completed for hardcore servers, for example. They do have their own set of difficulties on there, of course, but it just seems as though it's a lot of effort to put people through when the server's expected to have an end date. And finally, the re-release of Naxxramas for Phase 7 would come around in early 2025. Of course, around this time, Kara would drop as well.
I think we're getting way too ahead of ourselves, chat.
If it already hasn't.
I don't want to hear
Kara
about 60
Crypts could
content
be a
right
thing that
now.
Blizzard hold on to try and get something cool towards the end of Season of Discovery to bring people back. And I do think having something to keep people coming back
Kiko,
during the latter
stop!
parts of the season will matter. Because when we get to 60, it's just back to Molten Core and Elixir again. I guess we better hope that the classes feel amazing to play, because typically for me the early classic raids have been on the weaker side. Then again, Blizzard have done a great job revamping BFD, so maybe they have time for a few tweaks here and there to make some of these early raid encounters just a bit more engaging. Not difficult content or anything, people have shown us time and again that's not why they're playing Classic, but just a few changes where at least you need to be paying a little bit of attention. But give it 12 to 16 weeks or so for the final phase and it will probably be time to wrap up Season of Discovery. This would happen around April-ish in 2025. This would mean a total duration of about 16 to 17 months for the season. And can I remind you, Season of Mastery went on for way longer than you probably remember. It was released on the 16th of November 2021, and it closed on February 14th, 2023. That's some 15 months, and I'm just saying Season of Discovery already has more going for it than Mastery did.
Yeah,
By this time,
it does.
The pre
I'm
level
loving
60
it.
content
It's
will
been
last
great.
about 8 months, and the post about 8 months. That doesn't sound too unreasonable, I don't think. So what about our characters? Now that is a tough thing to answer, isn't it?
What do you think they're gonna do, chat? You think they're gonna make an era server for SOD? Or take away our runes and just make it a normal era character? I feel like it's just gonna turn into a normal era character. I don't think they wanna keep making new servers for continuation. I mean, what are they gonna do? Spam level 60 content for 5 years, right? I think they're just gonna throw us into normal era. TBC SOD? Nah, I don't think they should ever do SOD, TBC, or Wrath. I think it should end at 60 always, the seasons.
Those characters over to Era is just not going to feel great. It would be like when we went from Legion to BFA.
Oh, I would not touch my paladin at all in Era.
Played retail then. And what I mean is losing half of your character's abilities ain't fun, and you probably aren't going to stick around for it. I really don't have a great answer for this. Maybe a seasonal Era server where retired characters can go afterwards. But then again, what if there's different themes to different seasons? What
You think Blizzard already thought about this too? I feel like Blizzard didn't even think about this far yet.
Has so much riding on its shoulders. I and many others have called this the Classic Plus beta in a way. And if these realms continue to pop off as they currently have, Blizzard aren't going to let that opportunity slip them by, I don't think. Or at least hope. My instinct at the moment, and the thing that makes the most sense, is to say that characters will go over to Classic Era, but I don't think even Blizzard knows at the moment. We just need to see how Season of Discovery plays out for a bit longer before we can really get a feel on this. But this is still all so far off in the future. Right now we have the present in Season of Discovery, and at the moment, I think it is doing amazingly well. I want to hear what you think for the future phases and phase duration though. Am I on track? What do you think of the roadmap Blizzard gave us? And is there something...
I think it's cool that they gave us a roadmap, something to look forward to. And I know Lost Ark did this a lot because they asked for it. I think Blizzard took the idea from it because I've never seen Blizzard do a roadmap before, but I love it. I love that they're giving us a date, a deadline, and something to look forward to. I'm excited for the 40 content, of course. I didn't really like the 60 content topic yet because I don't want to hear about it because we're not even there. It's like Yasuo asking for Thunder Fury and we're doing BFD right now, level 25. And this guy's already like, Savix, can I have Thunder Fury? Can I tank? It's like, dude, 60's not even out yet. We're so fucking far away. We don't even need to talk about that right now, right? So I feel like we shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves. We should be just looking for level 40 content for now.
Different you'd want to see out of a future phase this season? Let me know down below in the comments. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening in. And I'll see you all on the next one.
Bye bye.
Very soon.